Hey guys, welcome to a segment of the Grind Never Stops podcast. This is your host DJ Joe, and I'm repping the Ukraine colors. This is might be Sweden, but I'm trying to rep Ukraine as much as I can. But let's move on from that debacle, and let's move on to what we're here to talk about, and it's the grind never stops. As thanks for everyone who watched our last interview with a professional basketball player who's playing overseas. He is an American, and he was just proud on how I had my podcast called Grind Never Stops because you guys know the grind never stops. Even though you win a title, even though you get the goal that you want succeeded, the grind will never stop. The grind will keep going and going and going. And to really get what you want, it's not given to you. Maybe to some people, but if you really want something, you gotta work hard for it. You gotta earn. So I would like to thank everyone who's tuned to my last interview and who's tuned in to all of our videos since day one because I've been grinding. I've been grinding since day one, since I got into sports when I was a really young age. But it's been grind and just taking like advice from my friends, family, uh, outsiders, strangers who tuned in to my show. And I wasn't too crazy about being on YouTube because I didn't think I would get that much views because I uploaded in the beginning in 2020 or 2019. I uploaded a couple videos, and in fact I a couple audios with just a picture, and I didn't get much views. And then I heard YouTube was lit. Everyone's been using it, and so I started to get into it. Got myself a couple new logos, got myself another co host, and I recently got another co host, which I would like to welcome. And he'll join us in the next couple episodes. And his name is Milad, and expect him to appear hopefully next episode. But welcome, and as you guys all know, my other co-host Steve, who's done a tremendous job helping me with this show, and one the best thing about the co-hosts that I have is I offer them to pay them, but they don't want to accept money. They're here to help, and that's what great people do. And me, I like to reward people that helps myself and other people, but it it's it's like how good people are, how nice people are, how they respect you as a person, as a sports podcast host. So it's just been, thank God, the man above for giving me that motivation to record, to talk about the sports that I love, which is NFL, MLB, soccer, hockey, and one of the greatest sports in North America is basketball. So it's the man above who gave me the strength to be able to record all that. And it's not just the man above, it's the people on this earth who has given me advice, who has helped me, because it's just been a grind. And I've been following sports since I was a young kid, but to actually talk about it was my dream, and to actually interview a professional athlete a couple nights ago was also a dream come true, and that you just want to accept all the comments, advice that you could be getting, and that's what I've been getting. And as I always told you, always thank the man above for all the things that he's trying to help you with. So I want to thank my boy Eugene Campbell, who's currently playing in Portugal in a basketball league. And I also want to thank him for taking the time to come in, as he was actually on his way to practice, and we were able to stuck interview in before he headed to practice. We got also another interview from a baller who actually also plays in Europe, and we expect him to have an interview tomorrow. So stay in the loop, and don't forget to check us out on YouTube, Spotify, and all your podcast platforms. But now, that was the intro, and now let's talk what we came here to talk. And before I get into Russell Westbrook, I just want to say that this game between the Golden State Warriors and the Los Angeles Lakers, people might think is just another game on the schedule for both these teams, for the team in San Francisco and for the team in South California. But this game is a really important game because this game could start a winning streak for both teams because the Golden State Warriors have struggled ever since Klay Thompson got back, ever since Draymond Green, who's been a real impact, has been a real impact for the Golden State Warriors. And you know how Draymond Green plays defense. You know how Draymond Green is a grit and grind of the Warriors. We both know that, but now Draymond has is running through injuries. He is apparently practicing playing no contact 3-on-3, but Draymond Green might not be in for your fantasy playoffs, and which I had him on my squad, had to drop him because by the time he comes back and the minute restrictions is not worth. But for the Warriors, they just need to just hold the fort until Draymond comes back because expect Draymond to come back in the next couple weeks because the Golden State Warriors need Draymond. Draymond is like the second captain for the Warriors outside of Steph Curry because Draymond does everything. He can shoot that three off the pick and roll. He can play D. He can guard anybody on the opposing team from 1 to 5. So he has been a great impact for the Warriors in a decade. And now they need him, but then now they need to hold the fort. And the guys that have been holding the fort for him is Kuminga, who's a rookie, who's been ducking the ball, playing great defense, boards, and getting the crowd in, and that's what you need. And also Moody, who hasn't played much, but he recently played in their last game, and he was great. But there was some questions about the Warriors' last game, as they Steph Curry did not shoot, like he didn't even attempt a shot in the fourth. And yes, he got trapped and all that, but when you're a great player, you always have to find a way to score. Well, I mean, if you're a great scorer. So I think the Warriors need to work on that. Even though if he's getting trapped in half court sets, he needs to get some shots. It's the reason they lost. It's not the only reason, but if Steph Curry probably shot a shot, they probably could have won the game. But that's a past. And but for this game, before I talk about Russell Westbrook and the Clays and the LeBrons and the ADs, this game is a win-win for both teams because this game can either make or break their season. Because you know the Warriors are like third, fourth seed, but it's not about the Warriors that much. But the Warriors have struggled in the past 7 games. Clay's been in and out of the lineup. We don't know when Draymond comes back. But right now, the Warriors need to get this win, and this is a must win for both teams because the Warriors are struggling. They are struggling, and they just need to have a huge win. And you guys know what Klay Thompson did last time he played the Lakers. And you know what the Los Angeles Lakers have been doing in the past 20 some games. And what LeBron failed is to make his damn free throws. So for the Warriors, it's just about this game. I think Steph Curry needs to have a great game. And Jordan Poole has been great for the Golden State Warriors. And I know his minutes went down ever since Clay is back, but he hasn't stopped scoring the ball. So I think Jordan Poole should keep doing his role, and Clay needs to get back into what he's been always, is playing great defense, because the only thing I've been seeing Clay is getting his ankles broken and sitting on the bench and shooting 2 for 15. That's all what I've been seeing Clay doing. So Clay needs to step out of that weird funk that he's in. And Steph Curry needs to, all the great players, they find a way, not just scoring, but other things. And Curry tried doing other things, and it didn't work at the end. But I still think Steph Curry cannot go again shooting no shots in the fourth quarter. And that was the first time in his career in the loss against the Mavericks when Doncic went off 41 points, 10 boards, 9 dimes. Curry's got to shoot the ball. That cannot happen. And I don't care if you're being trapped. Like, you always have to find a way to score, because if Steph Curry find a way, they would have won that game. But it's just Steph Curry did not attempt the shot. Clay was, I don't know what he was doing, Clay Thompson, and the rest was just trash. Like, they weren't in the game. And Steph Curry was lights out in the first 3 quarters. He was lights out. But the Mavericks were smart to trap him in half court. They didn't even cross half court, and he's already being trapped. So I think the Warriors need to find a way in that, because the playoffs, I know Clay is gonna come back come playoff time, Draymond, but for right now, you just gotta hold the fort until Clay comes back to where he used to always play and how he started. So I think this is a must win for the Warriors, but for the LA Lakers, I'm just tired. They've been losing every game to the worst teams in the league. Uh, yes, they're getting old, and like Sir Charles said, they're old and they're getting cooked. Well, first of all, LeBron is not getting cooked. LeBron has been playing his one of his best seasons scoring wise. Uh, Carmelo Anthony is averaging 14.3 points and 5.7 rebounds off the bench. Um, Malik Monk is playing the best basketball of his career, and that's all about it. You got AD getting injured every 5 minutes. You got Russell Westbrook every damn game shoots so horrible, doesn't have a huge impact on the floor game after game, and it's been the same Cinderella story. Press conference, oh, I played bad. Yes, I'm gonna have to play better. And it happens and happens. And this is where the Lakers are tired. And this is not just about Russell Westbrook, but the Lakers did give up Kyle Kuzma, who's been killing it in Washington. They gave up Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who just had a 30-point outing for the Wizards, who's been a key defender and shooter for the Wizards. You got Montrezl Harrell, who's been a key player for the Hornets off the bench, and who was a key player before he got traded to the Hornets with the Wizards. So I think that trade, the Lakers will look back and they will regret it, because I'm pretty sure that these guys for Russell Westbrook, that was just, they gave up too much. They should have gave up KCP Harrell and a second for Westbrook, but not Kyle Kuzma, like all these young guys, because they knew what Russell. Like I said in my previous episode, I said everyone knows how Russell plays. Everyone damn knows how Russell Westbrook plays. It's just he needs to have the ball in his hands. He needs to jack up shots, grab 20 rebounds and 10 dimes. That's what Russell Westbrook do. But you know he's not gonna do that. It's LeBron's team and AD, And even when AD's been out, even when Carmelo's been out, Russell Westbrook was given a chance to go off, but he just shit the bed. And there has been a rumor that Russell Westbrook wants out. We want you out as well. So it's a win-win for both sides. But for the Lakers, they need this win. They have struggled horribly. They got they got blown out by Reggie Jackson. Like every game the Lakers play in the last 20 some games, one guy, random trash player, just goes off on the Lakers. And it's smart. You play a high market team at the Staples Center, or what they call the Crypto.com arena. You just want to go off on the Lakers. But for the Lakers, the losing stops now. It's gotta stop. It's so bad, man, the way they've been playing. And I know that the fans shouldn't be booing. I understand that. But just the way Russell Westbrook has been playing is absolute trash. It's garbage, and they need to figure it out because now they didn't trade him, so now they just gotta be stuck with him for this season. They just got to figure it out because, as I said, the playoffs will be definitely slipping it away and play in as well. So they need to get it done. And you know what LeBron James can do. You know what this man can do. But it's all about the other guys because Malik Monk is playing an amazing pace. Carmelo has been great off the bench. So is it time? Is it finally time to play Carmelo Anthony full minutes starter? And I think they should try to put him in. And probably switch Westbrook. I know it will never happen, but for Westbrook to step out of his funk and he needs motivation. That's a problem. The Lakers are not mad or pissed as you see in the press conference, but probably behind closed doors they are pissed. But I think they should start changing something. Have Melo start and Westbrook off the bench and have LeBron running point. I think they should think that, but we need to see as they play tonight on ABC, and make sure to tune in on NBA League Pass or ABC. Or if you're in Canada, you can watch it on, I think it's on Sportsnet or one of the TSN channels. And thank you for tuning in to this episode. Make sure to check us out on YouTube. We're close to 500 subs. And thanks for everyone who tuned into our last episode. And thanks for everyone who will tune in to this episode of the Grind Never Stops podcast. This is your host, DJ Joe. And don't forget to check us out on all your podcast media platforms. And again, if you guys want to send us small donations, the link is in the description. Smash that like button and hit the subscribe button. And this is your host, DJ Joe, signing out. Mamba out.